This is the best warm-up routine to go pro in 2026. And since there's so many new tournaments next season, such as the Solo Victory Cash Cup, you're going to want to warm up for these tournaments so that you can make your first earnings. So, the first part of this warm-up routine is to go into Raiders Mechanic Training version 5. And what you're going to do is you're going to hop into the free build for about 3 minutes. You're going to want to practice your triple edits, your quad edits, anything that is kind of comfortable for you. This is so that your fingers warm up, and since the rest of the routine is going to be a little bit more complex, then this is what's going to help you be able to do that very efficiently. But before we get into the rest of the routine, if in case you're wondering why you should be trusting this video, a lot of this warm-up doesn't even come from me. It comes from pro player Dexy, who has over $40,000 earned on EU, the hardest region. So if you don't trust my advice, trust his advice. Anyways though, after a few minutes, what you're going to want to do is hop into the piece control section. The piece control section is going to allow you to practice your fast mechanics and obviously your piece control. Now, probably the most important part of this is making sure that you don't do too much. I'd aim for about 40 to 50 rounds so that you stay warmed up, but you don't start droning out. Make sure to pay attention to your peaks and making sure that you're not making wide edits on the bot. Now, once you're done with the piece control, the next thing you're going to do is hop straight into the aim section. Now, sadly, a lot of the maps on Raiders Mechanics Training don't work on controllers, so I'll give you guys an alternative in a couple minutes. But what you're going to do is you're going to hop straight into the reaction flick, and you're going to try to hit as many headshots as possible. Make sure you're always moving and not standing still, so it gives you the most realistic practice. And also make sure that you're not trying to flick. You're going to want to aim slowly and carefully and try to line up as many headshots as you can in a row. Now, this map is very hard, especially if you're on controller, since the aim assist does get very weird sometimes. But just try to do your best and hit as many headshots as you can in a row. Now, once your aim feels a little bit better, you're going to want to hop into the wall replay section, which is a little bit more realistic. Try to make sure you're pressuring the walls from a safe angle and taking as safe shots as you can. Also, make sure that you block off any possible angles a person might try to take pre-shots on you from, such as the tops or your left side. Always pressure the wall from a right-hand peak so that you have the best angle possible to hit the shot. The next drill is glider tracking. Now, on controller, this map is very buggy and doesn't have any aim assist, so if you're on controller, I'll recommend an alternative in a few minutes. However, if you're on KBM, this map is really good just for practicing your aim, and it's quite realistic since obviously in-game there's going to be people gliding, and then you can shoot them out of the air. The last map that I would recommend on this aim section is the horizontal tracking, which is really good just for practicing your aim overall and just kind of getting better at your aim. Just keep in mind that this map doesn't have any aim assist, so for you controller players, including me, it can be a little bit difficult at times. The next part of this routine is your edit section. You can do this before or after your aim training. I don't think it personally makes a difference. The first thing you're going to do is set your speed to 80% and then go straight into the quad edit section. This is going to help you practice your edit timing, which is very crucial in game. Once you've done it on 80% speed twice on each side, then you're going to set it up to 100% speed and do the same exact thing. Now, after you do the quad edits, you can do the ramp flip and then the first edit tunnel, but those are kind of optional. I don't think you have to do them. They're good practice though, so if you want to, you can do those. But now, if you want to play another map, I'd recommend Resub's Training Hub. This map honestly is really good for controller players since it has aim assist, but it can also be good for keyboard players who are trying to get a different experience and a different type of aim training. The first thing that I like to do in the aim section is the static target switching. This is really good just for like controlled aim and just trying to hit as many shots as possible. I think it's quite similar to the reaction flick from the Raiders mechanic training, so you can do one or the other, but I like to do both of them just because it gives like a different feel. Now, once you're done with static target switching, you're going to go into the SMG tracking, which you obviously don't have to use an SMG for. This is going to help you practice those in-box shots where after you hit your shotgun shot, you have to hit your follow-up shots to get the kill. And finally, you're going to go into the long-range aim section. I'd recommend spending 5 to 10 minutes in here practicing your aim alone, but if you're on a time crunch, then you can only spend a few minutes in here. This map is so realistic, I think, since the bots actually sprint and there's an option to turn on gliders, so it's really good overall aim practice. Make sure that you're switching guns to get the most realistic practice, since in tournaments or just in ranked, you're not going to know which gun you're going to end up picking up, so it's good to practice with every single item that's in the meta. Now, hopefully you should be feeling pretty warmed up, so it's time to actually fight some real players. I'd recommend going into 1v1 speed realistics, but I think that 1v1 build fights is also a great way to finish up your warm-up routine. Now, when you play this 1v1, you're going to focus on taking safe peeks and trying to hit as many edits as possible. You're not going to want to play flicky and aggressive, play controlled, and play smart. Once you're done with that, you can hop into rank reload or solo cup endgame. Both of those are very good for practicing other types of fighting. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.